Moving on to something just a bit more light-hearted is the recent news that Hunter x Hunter is making its return. It's been on, I think it went on 2 hiatuses, but it's finally supposed to be coming back. And when I first heard this news, I was excited, because it just happens I was rewatching Hunter x Hunter at the time. I've only read the anime, I haven't read the manga. And what I wanted to talk about today is, in my opinion, I think Hunter x Hunter is kind of overrated. Just kind of. I know there's going to be some people thinking, what are you talking about? What are you even saying right now? Because whenever I talk to one of my friends about it, they love Hunter x Hunter. They love it. But I'm just, it's okay, you know? It's, let me explain. Let me tell you what I like, okay? I like their ability system. You know, the Nen, and there's the different types. You got like the Enhancers, the Conjurers, Manipulators, Emitters, Specialists. Like, I like their system, but I like it, and I like how everyone's abilities are less traditional, if that makes sense. So if you look at, Naruto, One Piece, Black Clover, some bits of My Hero, like, they use the pretty much standard, the elementals, fire, earth, wind, lightning, and all that. Whereas in Hunter x Hunter, it's more, as they say, every ability is special to each person. So yeah, enhancers, they're basically, they're basic, they get strong, can do certain abilities from that. But then you have, conjurers, you could summon something, you have manipulators, you sort of like control other things. You have the, specialists, you sort of can use all the other types. And I think it makes us different from all the other animes. So like you have one where it's sort of like, it's basically a bank, an ability bank, where if they touch you, you have to pay them back in terms of not being able to use your ability, which is clever. And there's one that's like teleporting through doors, and there's one where you wind up your arm, and the more times you wind up your arm, the stronger your attack is. And it's clever and it's different, and it makes every fight interesting, because everyone's ability is different, it's unique, and so you can't like picture, okay, he's got fire and he's got this, so he may have trouble and blah blah blah, when this guy can control bungee gum, and this guy can have a book of other people's abilities, and it's just different. So that's one thing I could praise Hunter x Hunter for. Another thing I could praise them for is their characters. In terms of each character provides substance to the story, whether it's a small side character or the characters for the arc or the main antagonist or main protagonist. They all provide something for the arc, which I can appreciate. And they all get their time to shine, they all get their moment in the sun. I can think of many anime where this is, like Naruto, I think is the big example, where the side characters get maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and then they are just standing there for the rest of them, just on the sideline, doing nothing. While as in Hunter x Hunter, if they are not active in the story, they're not in the story. You won't see them. They'll make an excuse. Oh, I need to go study medicine, or I need to go train, so I'll see you when I'm important in the arc again. And I can really appreciate the round. Cause it wastes less time, you know? And it makes sense. Like if you was in an anime and you weren't the main character, why are you there? Like to watch. This is not Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you're there to explain what's going on. You're just wasting time. Come on now. Another thing I could really support is their fight scenes. Their fight scene is always good. Like they're always hyped, they're always fast. And I like how initially when you start the fight scene, there's always this sort of like rising in the music. It's like in most fight scenes, like electric guitar or like just a really good like rock beat. But in Hunter x Hunter, it sort of builds. So it lets the fighting makes the sound and just heard this sort of background build. And as it gets more and more and more and more, then the music kicks in because it's letting everyone know, okay, things are getting serious now. Apart from the music, the actual fight scenes itself is pretty good. Like Gon versus Hisoka. I just watched the Zoldyck family versus the head of the fighting troop, which is a good fight. I know towards like later in the story you have Miroem versus Neto, I think his name is. That's a good fight. But yeah, this fight's lit throughout this anime. They're all good. I highly recommend that. But the things that I feel, the features that hold back Hunter x Hunter for me is sometimes they just go off. Like they explain things that I feel like don't need to explain. Like I get it, your world building, you're telling the reader, okay, this is how it works and this and this. But when you do that constantly, it becomes boring. I'm just there saying like, okay, but what does this have to do with what's going on? Like, fine, fair enough, you use that technique once and then you never used it again. But let's learn how to do this and then we can modify it to do this. And then we'll never do it again. And it's just, it wastes time and it's so boring. So boring. I feel like there's so much other stuff I could be, watching, or so much other stuff I could be learning rather than what's going on at the auction, how it works and all that. It's boring and it drags out the story. I'm not gonna lie. On my first watch of Hunter x Hunter, I fell off. It was around the Chimera Ant arc. I fell off. It was just boring. Like, don't get me wrong, again, the fight scenes were interesting, but it just dragged. It dragged and dragged. And the ending of that arc was just so anticlimactic. Maybe it's because I'm used to other anime, but it was just so not worth all this dragging and it was so long. It's a good anime, but I feel like that arc is just And then the next arc with this election, I'm not sure how important the election is in the manga, but from the anime perspective, where it just starts when Gon finds his dad. Oh god, how boring. I don't want to know this advanced voting technique. Just pick someone to lead. Just make sure they do some good fight scenes and they're interesting. God, I mean, I get it. When you're producing anime, you need to do something that makes it different from the last good anime, and then before that one, and then before that one. So maybe if you think of new ways that the guy in charge is selected, or new ways to explain what's going on, maybe it will differentiate yourself from the others. But it's just so boring. Just get on with it. Oh god. I'm telling you, from the start of Hunter x Hunter to what's it called? The game arc. That was a good run. Good run. I enjoyed it. But like the Chimera arc and the election arc was just, it dragged on too much. There was other things I could be watching. Honestly. And then it fell off again when I was watching it. I was like, I'm gonna watch Attack on Titan. I'm sure there's some new episodes. But like, God, it's boring. So in my opinion, I feel like the anime may be overhyped. I'm not sure about the manga, but I'm pretty sure the anime is overhyped. I feel like it's just, there's a good flow. That's it. The flow of the anime is interrupted by those two arcs. It would be like if, let's use Attack on Titan. Because Attack on Titan has like those bits where it's like talk. Oh my God, this is kicking off, talk, kicking off, talk. So over a while, you get used to it. Because there's like a certain pattern between the calm bits and the natural fight scenes. But then with Hunter x Hunter, sometimes the talking bits and the setting up for the fight scenes are just so long. Like, come on now, get to it. I don't have all day. Come on now. But yeah, that's just my opinion. If you feel different, let me know. Maybe we can have a debate or something, but yeah, overhyped.